the co-author of a new book called The Now Revolution. Let's hear it for Baer.
Thanks. The key to that, the first key to that is understanding that if we're going to operate in real time, if we're going to interact with customers and prospective customers at a moment's notice all the time, we have to have employees that are all rowing in the same direction. Culture is the most important aspect of social media success. It's not technology. It's culture and sociology. We have to have a cultural foundation in every company that is shared by all employees. We have to empower our employees to make the right decision right now. Because here's the thing, we can't call a committee meeting, even though this still happens today, we can't call a committee meeting to say, hey, what should we do about this tweet? By the time you send out the meeting request, the game is over, right? We've got to get people operating with one head and one heart. That everybody in your organization operates similarly, they have the same cultural values, and in so doing, they can operate fast. They don't have to go to their manager and say, how should we handle this? They know how to handle it, because everybody's got the same culture. We've got to attract and retain talent that we can trust in our companies. Now, one of the organizations that does this particularly well is ThinkGeek. Anybody know ThinkGeek? There's some geeks out there. I see you. Quite a few people. That's good. So ThinkGeek is a e-commerce and catalog company that sells truly geeky merchandise. So if you want an iPad case that's also an Etch-a-Sketch, which is awesome, right? That's the place to go. If you want a t-shirt that has a guitar embedded in it so you can play your own chest, which is both awesome and totally disconcerting, that's the place to go. And they have been remarkably successful because they sell to geeks, but they are geeks. Like geeks. Like, here's how much. So if you apply for a job at ThinkGeek, and it doesn't matter what job it is, president on down, the first question they ask you in the interview, invariably, Star Wars or Star Trek? That's the question they ask. Let's just check the Knoxville temperature here. Star Wars, let's see a show of hands for Star Wars. Interesting. Star Trek. Wow, Star Trek not big in the dirty South. That's interesting. I'm not sure. Tom Webster, can we get a study on that by the end of the session, please? We could do a little focus group or something. Thank you. So Star Wars or Star Trek's the first question they ask. Here's how geeky they are. To this day, not 1985, now, every Wednesday night, Dungeons and Dragons night. In the break room, rolling the old 20 side, right? Making it happen. +3 orc or whatever. Somebody left a post on their Facebook wall in binary code. 011011, and they answered back in binary code in like 5 minutes because, well, of course we know binary. Like, well, duh, we all know binary. Like, just like no big deal. When their community manager goes on vacation and she manages the Twitter account and handles the Facebook page and stuff, when she goes on vacation, it's like a badge of honor to be the replacement person, the replacement voice of the brand. But the goal is not to put your own spin on it for them. The goal is to make it seem as if she never left. Because ThinkGeek operates with one head and one heart. And their vice president said a really interesting thing to us when we interviewed him for the book. He said, how come car companies don't only hire people for every position that are super passionate about cars? And it's a great question, and it applies to every business. In a real-time world, we need to start hiring for passion and training for skills.